he was already on the back foot, and he stumbled even further backwards after his ridiculous speech today in the United States, where, yes, he said all the right things about defending democracy, asterisk, you can't become part of NATO, asterisk, you can't become part of the EU. But good speech, President. Vladimir Zelensky, the bloke who, of course, is the actual leader of the free world right now. But here were the opinion polls going into this speech.
Picture the president is going into this speech in a very difficult position. Our latest poll shows he has just a 37% approval rating. That is the lowest point of his presidency.
And even on the Biden Booster network of CNN, they did a snap poll where they even oversampled Democrats. And guess what? The enthusiasm about the speech was the lowest in 15 years. Perhaps that's because if they actually paid attention to this bloke, they didn't have a clue what he was saying.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people. From defending the Russian ruble, invading a foreign country, build a wall high enough to keep out a vaccine. The capacity of our economy to make computer chips.
Nailed it. As for the instant reaction, here was what, even somebody who calls it down the line, she knows what it's like to put a speech together. She worked, of course, for George W. Bush. Here's what Dana Perino said on Fox.
Be generous and say that there were 91 applause lines, but I have to say, I thought the speech was uninspired. I agree that it sounded like he did not actually change anything. It's almost as if they had the speech, it fell on the floor, all the pages got shuffled around, and they just put it back together, and they didn't actually reorder it. There were no transitions. There was no rhetorical lift.
And you know who agreed with the analysis on Fox News? The lefties at The Daily Show. They put out this tweet during the speech, that he was essentially running out of battery. But guess what? They deleted the tweet because the official memo was Biden is back. Because here was the analysis on CNN.
I thought it was Joe Biden at his best. Uncle Joe is back. I thought he was being the leader. Listen, nobody believes in these American ideals more than Joe Biden. It showed tonight. And listen, I have not seen unity in this country like I saw at the beginning of that speech. And I don't want to step on that. I was impressed with the energy. I was impressed with, if you didn't believe in democracy before, if you never heard of democracy, and you just looked at the body language of this guy believed every word he said. And I think I'm proud tonight we have a leader like him.
Seriously? However, my favourite moment, apart from Kamala Harris going, this is awesome, all the way through. And by the way, don't you love that the women's suffragette movement, where they were all wearing white when Trump was speaking, apparently has now all been solved, back in the colours now in terms of what they were wearing, and so passionate about Ukraine. P.S. You can't be part of NATO. You can't be part of the EU. We'll eventually send you something, maybe, because remember, he's got to go to Delaware for the weekend. Chuck Schumer, the bloke who is just the leader of the Senate. Now, he thought it was time to start clapping, but he completely misjudged it because he's a moron.
The $2 trillion tax cut passed in the previous administration that benefited the top 1% of Americans. The American Rescue Plan helped working people and left no one behind.
Trump, do you miss him yet?